gain air superiority with the Corsair running all over the place willy-nilly, killing overlords at will. I think that is a big mistake. But if you transition into Hydras and build a lot of Hydras, that's also a way to sort of gain air superiority. It looks like Stats has a Shuttle. I'm guessing it's filled with Dark Templar. It looks like he's bringing the Shuttle and elevatoring an Archon and 2 Zealots up to Soulkey's main. That's real clever. Stats is using these Corsairs to kill Scourges, which could threaten the Shadow. I think that's real clever. And with this clever SimCity, Soulkey can't bring his Lurkers back into his base to defend. I mean, this is really good. This is sort of using the Zerg's fortifications against him. But unfortunately, Soulkey has quite a few Hydras in the main now. And I really don't think Stats is going to do too much with this, but it looks like Stats managed to kill quite a few of the Hydras. He has no Observer there, though, so the Lurkers wipe out his attack force. I still think that was a pretty clever attack, but unfortunately, Soulkey had a few Hydras in his main. And it looks like Soulkey's bringing down some Lurkers and Hydras to the 6 o'clock position, and there's nothing Stats can do to save this. And so I think the momentum has shifted back to Soulkey's, and Soulkey has the advantage. He's trying to press some attacks. There's a small skirmish here with some Zealots in the middle of the map. It looks like Stats is not canceling his Nexus. I'm not sure if he's waiting to cancel it at the last moment, or he actually hopes to save it. I don't see... Well, I guess. So he did manage to withdraw, and Stats managed to save his expansion. I thought Soulkey would have stayed in there and sort of finished off the Nexus, but apparently not. Stats now has a decent number of Zealots built up, but Soulkey has a scary number of Hydras and Lurkers. He's streaming more and more units down. He's sort of boxing these Zealots of Stats with Lurkers and Hydras. There's a big battle going on. The Zealots are forced to withdraw, and they're being intercepted by reinforcement Hydras. Soulkey's bringing down some Overlords. I'm not sure whether it's for drop or detection, but this is what I mean. That is important not to lose air superiority. Stats brought in his Corsairs to do some damage to Overlords. Although the Hydras now fended off the Corsairs, it looks like Soulkey is pressing attack on Stats' front. With Hydras, he's sniping High Templar. Soulkey has nothing in his main to defend against this Storm Drop by Stats. Wow, his Scourge managed to wipe out the Shadow. The Archon with 6 kills shows the Storm killed 6 drones, but I'm not sure that's worth it because the gateway at his front's down for Stats, and it looks like Soulkey is pressing in with his Hydras, sniping one of the cannons. There's only 1 High Templar left for Stats, and if Stats can't hold his natural, the game is over. But Stats is not able to get another base either, and the longer this goes, the worse off it'll be for Stats. He's just not going to be able to keep up economically. Although Soulkey only has 3 drones, oh, now he's droning up significantly at his 10 o'clock base. Yeah, so Soulkey has taken a decisive economic... Oh, I guess not. He doesn't have any drones in his main. The Storm Drop only killed 6 drones. It looks like Soulkey's pressing an attack with additional forces at Stats' main, but he's not able to breach it. With the Dragoons and the Storm, Stats can hold out for a bit here, but I'm honestly not sure how long he can defend. I mean, if you look at the mini-map, Stats has a pretty small army, it looks like, compared to Soulkey's. But Stats is trying to push out with his Dragoons, and Soulkey's bringing the forces he held in reserve to do, and it looks like Stats is forced to retreat. Stats has some High Templar. He's probably going to try to storm some of these Lurkers, but they're very staggered, and breaking this contain is going to take quite a bit of resources. However, Stats, I've seen games where in situations like this, he actually wins, so definitely not going to count him out yet. He could achieve a massive breakthrough attack and wipe out Soulkey's army. But Soulkey is consistently reinforcing the front. There's some storms going on, killing some Lurkers. Stats still has that shuttle, a new shuttle, flowing around with his Corsairs. He can use that to harass Soulkey and do some damage. That's what he needs to do right now to limit Soulkey's economy as much as possible. Soulkey doesn't really have... Oh, Soulkey has 2 Hydras. The Hydra's intercepted and killed the shuttle. That's a big loss for Stats there. Not only is the shuttle, whatever's in it, incredibly valuable, he can't do any economic damage. Now we see units streaming down to Stats' base. Stats is pushing out. I think this is his desperate attempt to push out. If he can't do it, it's going to be GG. He doesn't seem to have any storms. He's just pushing out with Zealots and Dragoons. Dragoons and Zealots are getting destroyed by reinforcements. And Soulkey's continuing to stream units down. Just looking at the minimap, massive number of reinforcements. And Stats' army has been whittled down. He's got some High Templar. He's going to do some storms. It's not going to be enough to save him. I think this game is over now. Soulkey's bringing additional Hydras. And Stats is reduced to... his defenses. He's got a few Dragoons and Zealots left, but Stats has basically nothing left, and the game is over. Good job for Soulkey taking out Stats, who's a fairly formidable Protoss. Stats is using some Dragoons on his ramp, just holding out, sort of playing for his team right now, but there's not too much he can do. His natural has been completely breached. Maybe he's just waiting for some storm on the High Templar to get off a cheeky storm, but not even that. GG coming from Stats. Good game. See you in set 4.